Appreciate it. So yes, I'm Henry Bromwell. I have a marketing communications company called Visionary. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary. So we actually started our business before the internet. So there was no such thing as social media or World Wide Web or any of that stuff. And we've been dragged kicking and screaming into the digital age, and we've learned we need to evolve and we need to learn and continually, embrace new technologies and different ways to communicate with people. So, Charlotte, you have a lot of knowledge of TikTok, and this I'm going to start with gearing more for small businesses, kind of like an overview thing, but please feel free to add anything that you think is important to know. If I'm skipping something or anything like that, it's all about, getting the information out there. So, I appreciate it. So, TikTok is kind of interesting. I mean, I use it personally more than anything else. I'm on TikTok, and what I found what I use it for is for, number one, I'm a diabetic, so I research a lot of information about diabetes and how to manage my diabetes. So I get a lot of videos and things like that about diet, exercise, and I've actually purchased products through sponsored posts and different things like that are related to my diabetes. Guess what? They kind of have a pretty good profile of me right now. So, but I've actually, products have come up that are, low carb products and things like that. So I've gotten, very involved in that, but I also follow a lot of business productivity, TikTokers and different things, Excel, how to use Excel and how to business productivity tips or business productivity apps. And I find that these have helped me more as a small business owner right now, that I learned so many different tips and so many different websites and different tools that I can use to help grow my business. And TikTok's been great about that. And the thing about TikTok is it kind of learns what you're interested in. It starts to figure out based on your videos and what you're watching and how long you're watching it. And they're going to start serving you more information like that. So that's good and that's bad, as we will discuss. So that being said, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. And Ronnie, like we said, we got questions. We'll just shout them out.
Yep.
And we'll go from there. And you guys can all see that, I hope.
Yep.
It's the screen. Okay.
Yes, I can. Yes.
All right.
If anyone
how does TikTok, what's different about TikTok? And TikTok really prioritizes, entertaining and authentic videos over commerce, so it's not like you're just going to make a video and just talk about your product features. You want to make something fun and entertaining and engaging so that people will view it. And obviously the more people that view it, then TikTok's going to push it out there more. So it's really they're really focusing on creativity. Okay. And that's what makes it so fun, right? I mean, that's what will make TikTok so fun to use and to watch videos. So how is it unique? Engagement, branding, instructional, and algorithm. Those are my four things that make this unique over other social platforms. And now I'm kind of going to go into that a little bit more. The engagement, average user spends over 850 minutes a month on TikTok. Okay, that's a lot, right? What is that, 14 hours? I'm just trying to do the math in my head. I don't know.
Wow.
But 850 minutes a month on TikTok. So if you're a small business and you're trying to, the goal of any business when you're talking about marketing or communications is you want to be in front of the people, right? And where do they spend their time, right? So you need to figure out, where does your target audience spend their time, right? So if people are on TikTok, 850 minutes a month, well, if they're your target audience, and we'll talk a little bit about what the profile of a typical, TikTok audience member is, that engagement, that level of engagement, how much time they spend on the app is a tremendous amount of time. So from a business point of view, there is a lot of opportunity for you to get your message out there because people are spending so much time on the platform. branding is a big differentiator also, because you're really focusing on creative content, which is really kind of like native advertising. It's kind of advertising without it really looking like advertising, right? It doesn't have the look or the feel of advertising. So it's more, like you said, we're focusing on creativity here. Native advertising is advertising that doesn't look like advertising. I find it to be extremely instructional, and that's where I really derive the most benefit from it. So even if it's something from like do-it-yourself projects, right? One of the favorite things that I love are like math hacks, like how to teach you to do math differently, different hacks and different ways to solve algebra or something. Like there's all these great instructional videos on how you can, and I've gotten back into like some of those different things with that. Motivational messaging, instructional. One of the things I'll share with you is I was an art history major in college. I was a fine art major. So that just goes to show you how much the world has changed. I went to college for fine art, and now I'm writing code. So things have changed,
There's an art to that too.
There's an art to that too. There's an art to everything,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much into art history, and there's several people that I follow regarding art and art history and some different things like that. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that kind of thing. So I start following these things. So there's a lot of things, useful life hacks. There's organizational people. How do you organize a home office, or the top 5 apps you need to run a business remotely? These are all great tools for small businesses, that you can go on TikTok. And the great thing about TikTok, it's short form video. So for someone like me who has ADHD, a 3-minute video, a 1-minute video, that's about as much as I can take. Okay. So I find that to be enormously useful. Many teachers now are creating scaled down versions of lessons on class and sharing them on TikTok with their students. Like I said, math was like a really big one. Like there's these great people that easily break down math and explain it. I just find it so useful. And now a lot of teachers are getting involved in that. So also just think about it, that if you're a small business owner, and there's, what is marketing? So really marketing is educating, right? And teaching people, right? So you have this great opportunity to use the TikTok platform to educate, right? Right. To inform, right? In a fun way, right? So that instructional aspect of TikTok, I think, is really important. But I think one of the most important things about TikTok that makes it different from other platforms is the algorithm itself. And the algorithm, is they make recommendations, and they determine which videos are going to appear on your For You page. So your For You page is kind of like your home page, like in TikTok, right? So that's where you go when you see your stream of videos. And when you're viewing videos on TikTok, right, one fills the screen, and then you scroll and you go to the next one, and you just keep scrolling. And if you stop and you watch it, then they're going to say, okay, they're interested in, plumbing repair, or you're interested in
Dog rescue.
carpentry. So we'll start serving you up more videos like that, right? So this algorithm starts to learn about what it is. So it will take the popularity of your video. So if you post a video, it takes that into account and will serve that to more audiences. So if your video is popular, and you don't have to have followers, but if they put the video out there and they'll start serving that video up to people who they think would be interested in that, based on hashtags or the topics, or even the sound effects and different things that you use in TikTok. People, they'll use that as an algorithm ranking factor. So they'll put your video out there, and the more people that start to watch it, then they'll start serving it up to even larger audiences. And that's how you can scale things so quickly with this algorithm. So the more engagement that you receive, the more likely it's going to be served to larger audiences. So that's what we were talking about before. I think a lot of you came on. We started talking about like what's going on in Ukraine, and how people on the street are posting things to TikTok, and how quickly they go viral. It's not because they have a bunch of followers. it's because they might be using a hashtag like Russia, Ukraine or Ukraine, and they're posting up there. And then the growth of these things explode. Like a lot of the TikTok people I follow, they have audiences of anywhere from 500,000 to 2 million people. It's like incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So as I said, you don't really need to have a lot of followers to be seen on TikTok, that this algorithm will serve up your videos.
Henry, can I ask a question?
Yes.
What's the difference between should you be on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or one or the other, or both, or what's?
A lot of TikTok people are on both. Okay. A lot of it's going to depend on your demographics, who you're targeting. They're very similar. But Instagram is more visual, high-end visual, right? Photographs of high quality, kind of inspirational images, quality imagery. Whereas TikTok, you'll see down and dirty videos that you create right in the TikTok app. Okay, but you'll see a lot of TikTok authors are on both. And what's interesting about TikTok, from what I see, is there's a lot of people get their accounts temporarily suspended if they're talking about something that could be controversial. TikTok's very quick to suspend accounts and things like that. So a lot of these big TikTok people have multiple accounts, and they'll go to their backup account, and then they'll use Instagram to kind of like, back up that and things like that. But the key differentiator between Instagram and TikTok is really Instagram is much more like high-end look and feel to it. The branding, the photos, even like the video kind of things. Whereas TikTok is more fun, viral, create the video right in the app itself and things like that. Okay, so the algorithm is not based on recommendations on a follower count or previous high-end videos, right? So the algorithm is not ranking things based on your previous high-performing video. Part of the algorithm is also going in. I have to believe that they have to factor in followers. I mean, but from what I read on the TikTok website itself, it said it's direct. It does not based on follower count, but it's really about putting that video out there and having the algorithm, people engage with it and things like that. Okay, so just to summarize the algorithm. So the algorithm is the student and you're the teacher, right? So the algorithm learns from what your viewing habits and your behavior on the platform, right? So the algorithm is learning about what you do, okay? TikTok's huge. It has 1 billion global monthly users. Huge, right? Top app to be downloaded. It's just got a huge explosion of thing. So here's what we talked about as a small business owner and who you're trying to target, and is this platform the right platform for you to be on, right? Now I'm 61 and I spend a lot of time on TikTok, and I think you'll see over time more and more that demographic is going to broaden out, right? So generally speaking, any kind of new social media platform, the younger people embrace it first. Even Facebook was that way, and then a lot of teenagers realized, well, my parents could potentially see what I'm posting on Facebook, so let's move over to Snapchat. So right now 63% of the users are between 10 and 29 years old. So you're talking Gen Zers and a little bit of the millennials are your big time users on TikTok, right? So women outnumber men 2 to 1 on the platform. So once again, if you think about any of you small business people out there, you need to identify who your target audience is, right? Who's your buyer persona? Are they women? Are they men? Is it 50-50 split? Are they 45 years old? Are they professionals? Is it B2B? If it's B2B, then you should probably be on LinkedIn. You need to think about these things, right? Very, very important. So why is TikTok good for business, right? So that's what we want to. So once again, we go back to that high engagement, right? So we talked about the 800 minutes, comes out to be about 14.3 hours a month on the app. So users spending a tremendous amount of time. This is where people are, right? This is where they're spending their time getting information, watching videos, getting beauty tips, learning how to eat right, learning how to fix the broken boards on your deck, sharing inspirational stories, TikTok, hashtag challenges, all sorts of different things going on. So it's that high engagement rate that makes it attractive for you as a small business. It's less competition. Over half of the top brands have not really embraced the platform yet, but that's changing daily. You're starting to see more and more of that out there. Okay, a lot of large companies, KFC just did a great brand takeover on TikTok. Very, very clever, very smart, a lot of fun. That's what it's supposed to be about. So, but there's still a lot of opportunity out there for you to be on the platform. When people ask, what's the best thing to do? In this case, if you could post every day, that's great. So it's in the details, right? So how successful you're going to be on pretty much any social media platform is in the details, right? It's doing it on a regular basis and on continually doing things on a regular basis, right? I always use the analogy like losing weight. I know, do it. It's super simple. Losing weight is so darn simple. It's ridiculous. Why isn't everyone doing it? All you have to do is watch what you eat and exercise. What's so hard about that? It's the day in, day out implementation that separates us. And it's the same thing with social media, right? So it's the day in, day out. It's not about hitting a home run, although you might hit a home run out of the gate, but it's about doing it on a consistent basis, okay? So if you can't do it every day like Charlotte, if you could do it a couple times a week, but at least get going with it, okay? It's that spurts and ebbs and flows and things like that where you have a tough time getting into the routine, that's where it becomes difficult. And you can schedule out some of these things. Yeah, when it comes to like frequency, like things like Twitter, your posts are very perishable, right? They go down the feed really quick in Twitter. So sometimes you'll repost things on Twitter, more frequently, right? Because it's so perishable. You probably should change it up as well and see what resonates. Is there different things that might resonate from one video, one TikTok video to another, and do some testing that way. So look, it's all about creating your own content, right? You want to be consistent, right? Especially if you're talking about branding and how people see your stuff. You do want to be consistent because you do want to start to build up some recognition and recall. So consistency in just about anything you do in marketing is the most important thing. A lot of times we'll have clients come to us and say, we want to redesign our logo. And I'll say, well, why? Why do you want to redesign your logo? Well, we've had it for a long time. We're kind of tired of it. And it's like, I don't recommend that because, you've built up so much equity in your branding and your recognition to just change a logo because you're tired of it. I couldn't justify that. Now we can make tweaks to it and make small incremental tweaks to a logo so that it remains recognizable. But, being consistent in everything you do is really, really important. So just a couple of ideas for people, what they could do with their thing, with TikTok is, you can introduce yourself and your team and have fun, put a song behind it, and kind of capture the essence of your business, do a video, in your office or something like that, where we can put that out there. You could share a success story and how you started your business or obstacles you've overcome, things that could benefit other businesses and things you've learned. Like I'm willing to bet everyone on the Zoom call, has their master's degree from the School of Hard Knocks, right? We all learn by making mistakes and we all learn from doing things. And, we can share this information and put this out there with our videos and things like that. You could post testimonials and things like that as well. That's another thing you can do. You can also do step-by-step process. How is your product made, or how is your product installed? Or how does your product work? Once again, these are short form videos, so you got to be punchy. You got to be right there. One of the ones I watch that I really enjoy a lot is This Old House. This Old House has a TikTok channel. Well, they spend 3 minutes showing you how to cut a hole in a piece of, in your sheetrock to put in a light switch, but it's got to be 3 minutes, so it's right to the point, it's super simple. It's easy to watch, they get right to it, and very, very, very informative. So, even businesses are showing their pets in their business, and their dog, the office dog and different things like that. People on TikTok love cute animals. They love to see that kind of thing. But it's really having fun and trying to capture the culture of your organization, right? Website has all your mug shots of your team, right? Like on there, like your executive profiles, and we've got the your driver's license photo of everyone in their suit with the backdrop, and here's the people in the company. But with TikTok, you can have fun with it and capture the personality of the people. One of the guys I follow is a sales coach, and he's got I think it's Eastern University, I think is what it's called. And he has just great sales tips, like how to overcome objections over the phone, or, how do you, things in a meeting, how do you, all sorts of different tips, all in this short form videos. And I get so much out of it that he shares. And guess what? So much of what we're doing with this TikTok and what we're hoping to get is what's called social authority, right? We want to be thought of as the expert in our industry, right? We want to put content out there and post content, comment on content, share content, add our insight to that content, all to position ourselves as authorities, right? Because we want to be the person when the company or the firm that people think of when they do this. So once again, I have links there to TikTok Small Business Resource Center. You can go on there. They have a lot of useful information about how small businesses can use TikTok. So TikTok has this thing they call it small wins, and it's demonstrating how businesses are turning small wins into success on the platform. So you can actually go on there and Google that. There's some interesting videos and things like that on small wins and things. So here's one right here. This is a clever one. This guy's a carpet guy, and just watch this.
On TikTok, being yourself can help drive sales. Here's how. Meet Josh, the carpet repair guy.
Hey, everybody.
So you run your small business on TikTok. How did you grow your audience?
I'm not dancing. I'm not twerking. I film myself fixing carpet, iron burn, bleach marks, pet damage. And people were watching this stuff, commenting ASMR, hashtag oddly satisfying. I thought, okay, I'm going to start putting more of that content out. ASMR. You felt that, didn't you?
You definitely found repairing carpets oddly satisfying. Who knew repairing carpet was trending?
People were saying this is like therapy for me. You've got a community out here who want to see you succeed. Put yourself out there.
So how's business now?
Multiple times a week, my customers have found me on TikTok, hired me. I just go from one house to the next. Happy customer, happy customer, happy customer. You and me, baby, for life.
TikTok. That's how small business wins. TikTok for business.
So he used the hashtag ASMR, and that's all about the sensation or feelings you get when you're interacting with a stimulating video. It's an acronym. It's just a long acronym, but it's basically about a stimulating video and how it makes you feel. And that I thought that was a very good video example. So, So the other way you can also, in terms of your marketing strategy, in addition to producing your own content, is you can advertise on TikTok platform. So there are different ways you can advertise, and some of them are expensive, and some of them are better for more for the branded hashtags can be very expensive. It's basically you're combining a catchy hashtag with a video that showcases a specific action. So it could be something like dance, some feat of athleticism, or a challenge, or something like that. But some of these hashtag challenges could be like $50,000, to run a campaign for some of these things, using these catchy hashtags. Branded effects. So these are the other things too that you can do with TikTok. There's filters and different things that you can use on your video so that they can interact with your brand and things like that. So it's something called branded effects. Then you have top view ads, which are ads that appear at the top of your for you feed. That's your feed, your home feed, when you first open TikTok. And these are very effective ads. And once again, you can target specific demographics, and we'll talk about that with these ads. You have in-feed ads, which are embedded video ad that auto plays when they're in the middle of your feed, right? An ad will come up and things like that. And I was going through my feed, and I told you I'm a diabetic, and I saw an ad for Catalina Crunch, which is this very low carb, keto friendly cereal. And I bought it. I clicked on the link, bought it right out of, bought it right from the TikTok ad. And, it's great. So these in-feed ads are very, very good as well. So here's just a quick video. You can see this, right, Leslie? You see the video starting?
Yes.
Advertising
All right.
on TikTok.
It's just a quick overview.
Helpful to learn how TikTok organizes campaigns and assets within the platform. Before we proceed, it may be helpful to review the features of the TikTok app for users if you're new to the platform. TikTok app has 5 main sections. Homepage, your unique feed when you first open the app. Discover, where you can search for specific content or creator. Recording, for creating your own TikTok content. Notifications, or inbox, to review notifications related to your account or posted content.
The sound is not good enough.
Yeah, it's very low, Henry. It's almost like you should turn your volume up. You have to, and then start again.
Can you hear it now?
Ad is inserted into the personalized
Better.
targeted audience.
There you go.
The ad does not appear in any other section of the app. In-feed video ads is a great way for advertisers to reach the community on TikTok through fun and informative videos. For in-feed video ads, you can select either the reach, traffic, app installs, video views, or conversion objective. The reach objective will optimize your campaign to show your ad to the maximum number of people possible. The app installs objective will automatically optimize your campaign for conversions focused on app install. The video views objective will optimize your ad to get as many views as possible. The traffic objective will optimize your ad for the traffic to your page or ad, while the conversion objective will optimize your ad for people to take a specific action on your website. When you participate in the auction process and select the in-feed video ad format, the auction winner's ad is inserted into the personalized feed of your targeted audience. You can bid for in-feed ads through either CPM, CPC, OCPC, or CPV options. CPM, cost per thousand, charges based on the cost per thousand impressions. CPC, cost per click, charges for each counted click on your ad. OCPC, optimized cost per click, means you will bid for the cost you are willing to pay per result, but will be charged per click. CPV, cost per view, charges based on the cost per view or predefined interaction. Depending on the goal for your campaign, you can select the appropriate bidding options. For in-feed video ads, you're limited to file size of 500 megabytes or less, and video bit rates should be higher than 512 kilobytes. While you can have videos from 5 to 60 seconds, we highly recommend shorter videos from 9 to 15 seconds as the optimum length. For the ad composition, you can incorporate Video Creative Plus and display image along with brand or app name and an ad description if needed. One important note, the ad display name must match the brand, product, or company name of the website or app.
All right. So that kind of just gives you a little bit of an overview about the ads and what they look at. Excuse me. Another thing with the TikTok ads you can do is what's called brand takeovers, which are really full screen, high impact ads that display the first thing when you log on. The very first thing when you log on to TikTok is you're going to see a brand takeover, which is going to be an ad right there in front of you. So can't miss it. So that very high impact brand takeovers. So then you have, you can monetize. You can monetize it. You can get sponsorships and brand deals and other things based on your number of followers and things like that. So I was just doing a little research, and I don't know if anyone knows who Addison Rae Easterling is. She's a singer. Well, she earned $5 million on TikTok. Okay, 5 million. Okay, so they'll pay these content creators anywhere from 2 cents to 4 cents for every 1,000 views and things like that. I think it's a tough thing, if you're starting out to even think about this, but it's interesting to see what the potential is out there in terms of different types of sponsorships, or influencer is another thing you can do as well. But there are a lot of people out there that have monetized accounts. So it's very, very interesting. So this is what I was talking about. You can partner with influencers. So you can actually go to TikTok's creator marketplace, and it helps you connect your brand with the right influencers. So there's a link down at the bottom where you can go and do that research and see if you can connect yourself with an influencer. So that's another way as well. Influencers are huge. So let's talk about finding, relevant video ideas for your ads and things like that. So what you want to do is, I'm sorry, I went backwards. You want to identify trends. So once again, you're on your For You page, which is your feed, and you can start to spot new trends and look at new things that are going on there. You always want to pay attention to it. So, if you see up here it is, you're on your For You page and things like that, and you can start to look at different trends as you're going through your feed. So you want to be on top of that. Then you can also go to the Discover tab down at the bottom. You can click on that and see other ways where you're finding trends. And like Charlotte talked about, the trending sounds, right? Trending hashtags, right? So you can go to the Discover page and do a little research, okay? And that's where you'll see which are the best, the top trending sounds or hashtags and different things like that. So you can go to the Discover page and do some research there and start looking at different things, hashtags and things. So then you want to follow other creators, right? Who are really the first to embrace some of these trends. And look, the best way to get your arms around this whole platform is to see how other people are using it, right? Is to look and see how other people are doing it. I don't have all the answers. I didn't go to school for this. You have to kind of figure it out yourself, right? Through trial and error and aspirational peers, and seeing what people, who are very successful leveraging and using the platform, what are they doing? Right? Like what types of videos, what types of sounds, how long are their videos, how frequently, start looking at that and seeing what does success mean on the platform. You can also do your audience research. And once again, you can research hashtags and see how frequently hashtags are used, how popular the hashtags are. And when we talk about hashtags, pretty much all your major social media platforms use hashtags. And that's just a way to get your content into a feed of posts that are using the same hashtag. So whether you're on LinkedIn or you're on Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook uses them as well. Instagram uses them like crazy, right? You can have tons of hashtags on Instagram. You should research your hashtags and see what are the popular hashtags are and are being used out there. So let's just talk about just some of the best practices. So 82% of all the videos on TikTok use at least one hashtag. Okay, at least one. Okay. So with hashtags, you're limited to 100 characters. So basically you can fit as many hashtags as you can within 100 characters. That kind of brings me into, you have your popular hashtags, and Charlotte just said this right on cue. You didn't even see this thing, right? A much broader audience with the popular hashtags. Then you have niche hashtags, right? So those are better for targeting specific demographics, right? So you can focus on more of a niche type of a hashtag. And then a good practice would be to mix some of the popular hashtags with the less competitive ones as well. But it's all about, like you said, you're putting yourself in a conversation, and you want to make sure it's much better to be in the right place than to try to be too big and things like that. So you do want to focus more on a longer tail type word, long tail type things like that, more specific type of hashtags and things. So once again, it's all about making your content stand out, right? So you really want to use high quality visuals if you can, or eye-catching transitions, the sound, the badges, all the things that TikTok has at their disposal. It's a great tool that you can actually just create your whole video right in app. You just use TikTok, you create the whole thing right there. Okay, the editing tools are right there for you. Okay, it's very powerful. Okay, so you really want to focus on on really putting something out there that's really going to catch someone's eye. Right. So this is where we were talking about best practices. TikTok's recommendation, is 3.5 times a week that the best performing brands are posting. But as Charlotte's doing once a day is even better. So, frequency is really, really important. So this is I'm not going to play this. This is an 11-minute video on how to make a TikTok video. Okay. All that goes into it. Okay. So, kind of gives you a step-by-step. It's a pretty good video. The guy fumbles a little bit, but I thought what I liked about it.
You ready to create a video for TikTok?
Is that he kind of has it side by side, right? So he's got the app here side by side open, and then he's showing you how to do it. So, I don't want you to sit here for 11 minutes and watch this video, but if you download the link, or you can just get this off of YouTube, it's a good beginner's guide, for that. So,
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I see he does some other interesting ones too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. So, what I would like to, Charlotte, I don't know if you're up for this, but would you like to share your TikTok account with us? Can we look at it?
Sure, be happy to. I'm at Char from Chicago on all of my platforms, but definitely that's my biggest thing on TikTok.
Okay. So what I'm just here on this screen are some of my personal favorite TikTokers.
Cool.
Okay. And so some of these are business. So the Excel team, she's great. She has Excel tips on how to do different things. She's absolutely wonderful. Like, she's great. The Socialty Pro, he's a great guy for search engine optimization, social media posts. He shares all sorts of websites and useful apps and things you can use to help your business. Easton University, this guy's a sales coach. He's really, really great about how you should approach, client meetings and different things like that. And then some of these other ones are more personal ones that I like. History Every Day, short form colorized videos of turn of the century videos from all over the world. So it might be, San Francisco in 1920 on the street, and it's just a street scene. And I might share a couple of these. Vic Blends is a hair cutter. He cuts hair, and what he does is he walks the street and he walks up to a random person and he says, "Hey, would you like, I'll give you a haircut." And he sets up right there on the street and he cuts the guy's hair and he interviews the guy and he talks to the guy.
I love that.
Okay, Vic Blends has 2 million followers. Okay, so and he talks about it, and they talk, and usually it resonates something. I lost my mom, and it's like, well, I lost my mom too, and just great. Walks right up to a stranger, and then cuts his hair, and then everything. Tatiana about art, she's like my go-to source about art. She explains art to me. Okay, whoops, sorry. She explains art, and she goes through the composition of art and different things, and I really enjoy. I don't know what. There we go. I'm going to just share something. Street Art by David Zinn. Here's a guy who walks the streets with a charcoal on the end of a stick. And if he sees interesting cracks on the sidewalk, he starts drawing from those cracks and incorporates it into a drawing with chalk on the sidewalk. And it's just really, really cool stuff. My diabetes nutritionist, very helpful for me. Devin Rodriguez Art is a gentleman that sketches people on the subway while they're sitting there, and he sketches them and then gives them the drawing, and you see their reaction. Just wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. And we're going to go to Charlotte's thing right now. I just want to show you, like, now I'm using TikTok on my desktop, which I never do. It's usually I use it on my phone. But Tatiana, she's great. Like, I just wanted to share the opening of this video real quick here.
How do we understand a Barnett Newman painting? Are we even meant to understand his work at all? In the early 1950s, the abstract expressionist painted Vir Eroicus Sublimis, a work of art that has confused, bemused, and frustrated audiences, critics, and art historians for years, even inciting some skepticism and reservation among some of Newman's own abstract expressionist contemporaries. Let's start by establishing what we see. The large canvas is covered in a slightly modulated deep color field of red and interrupted by 5 vertical...
I just found it so amusing that she said, maybe we're not meant to understand it. I thought that was so great.
Absolutely.
She's one of my favorites. I love it. I mean, I majored in Renaissance art, so I go more to the Renaissance art, and she's got great things here and stuff like that, where she talks about composition, shadow and light, chiaroscura, and all those different great things. Talks about the meaning of the symbols, and it's just really, really educational. It's really, really informative.
I just want to remind everyone, Henry does a lot of workshops for us. He's so generous with his time and information. But I find what happens is a lot of people get on calls and want to pick his brain. So if you would not mind maybe coming through us first, some of you, I don't know, maybe I'm not saying this right, but I would just like to avoid just onto Henry's voicemail or something, or
well, we might be able to put together another workshop that if we get people that are, we get a couple of other people, we can definitely do a smaller kind of workshop thing as well.
Right. That would be great too. I mean, if you're willing to do that, Henry, I know this takes an awful lot of preparation, and, I'd like to reuse this one again because it was great. I mean, I could sit and watch this right now and there are a lot of things I missed, and I want to click on all of those links. So I just want to thank everyone for coming. Leslie will be sending out a follow-up email to all of you, which hopefully you can return the evaluation. We really appreciate it. It's also going to have a request for counseling form if you would like to make an appointment. And I think, Leslie, don't you also send a link to our newsletter that has, do you send that link as well? Yes. So you can sign up for the newsletter and then see all the workshops that we have, register right there through the newsletter. And that's about that. Does anyone have any additional questions or comments? I'm hoping that in the settings, I made it possible for everyone to copy and paste into a Word document the chat. So if anyone wants to go ahead and do that, I'm going to leave it up for a few minutes. So, I'll stay here for a couple of seconds or a minute or so you can all copy that if you'd like. And please feel free to get in touch. If you want to get in touch with me, there's my email right under my picture. So thank you all for joining.